This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with Wendy Ross, who is in today for John Scalzi. It's good to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you. I got up this morning. I got in my car. The temperature reading in my car said 80 degrees.
I know.
By the time I got here, it was 82.
And that was Celsius, right?
Oh, yeah. Amazing, isn't it? Isn't that awful?
It's steamy
like
out there.
Stepping into a wet blanket. It is summer. It came early to me. Man, oh man. But it is very warm. It's very muggy. Kind of the same day that we saw yesterday, we're going to see again today. We've got a couple of showers around, mostly east of I-75, but for the most part, we are looking at mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, 80 degrees out there. The humidity is high. The winds are coming in out of the east-southeast at around 5 miles per hour. And it doesn't matter where you go, it is hot. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s all along the coastline. You get away from the coast and it's just slightly cooler, but you can see a couple of showers are around. Most of those showers, though, taking place inland and moving off towards the east at this hour.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Taking a look at the Suncoast roadways this morning. Everything is moving along nicely at this point. 75, 301, 41 in Manatee County. No issues or delays. And as you head down into Sarasota County, there is that one note to take note of. School Avenue, the road is closed between Goldenrod Street and the end of the road. And other than that, everything all the way down into South County is looking good.
Well, topping our news this morning, investigators are now turning their focus to the wife of the Orlando shooter, trying to understand just how much she knew before the attack.
Meanwhile, dozens of survivors of the Orlando nightclub massacre remain in the hospital and speaking out for the first time about what they endured.
I guess he must have thought I died with my eyes open, and I just kind of kept staring at him.
20-year-old Tiara Parker stared at the gunman while her cousin Kara lay dying in the bathroom of the Pulse nightclub. Just moments before, the two girls and their friend Patience were on their way out when the first shots were fired.
People are getting hit by bullets, like blood is everywhere.
They tried to hide in the bathroom as police SWAT teams stormed in.
The shooter came into the stall. They killed him. I watched him die.
The SWAT team pulled him out, but Kara didn't make it.
My cousin had the brightest future in front of her.
So many survivors of the Orlando massacre watched friends die that night. Investigators now focusing in on the shooter's wife, Noor Salman, trying to determine if she had information that would have prevented the tragedy. Law enforcement sources say that Noor Salman allegedly went with her husband to buy ammunition prior to the attack. ABC News has also learned Salman allegedly suggested to the FBI that she tried to talk her husband out of harming anyone. If true, she could face criminal charges. Investigators are also poring over the shooter's phone, looking for connections to the gay community. A decade ago, the shooter met this man, who didn't want his face shown.
He asked me if I was gay, and because I wasn't out at the time, I told him, no, I'm not. And he said, if you were gay, you would definitely be my type of guy.
The shooter's wife may have accompanied him to the nightclub previously to stake out the area, and investigators are working out whether or not they went as patrons or were just scoping out the site. The FBI does say that she is cooperating with them.
Well, while authorities continue to investigate the Pulse nightclub shooting in Sarasota, hospitals and EMS officials are reviewing their training skills in case a similar incident were to happen here on the Suncoast. Sarasota County EMS and hospitals like Sarasota Memorial prepare for such a scenario every year, conducting incident training by converting the parking garage into a makeshift hospital. The use of triage tags are also an important part of this process.
As our crews go through and assess the patients and determine how critical they are, they take and put one of these triage tags on there that gives the hospital information about what they've determined were the injuries.
So we can determine who needs care more immediately and who can be held back, still under care, but we want to make sure that the right people reach the right treatment in the right time.
These triage tags were also used by emergency personnel in the Orlando shooting. Meanwhile, in an effort to quell any fear here on the Suncoast, the Islamic Society of Sarasota Bradenton is speaking out against the Orlando attack and the man behind it. The mosque has once again opened its doors to anyone with questions or concerns. These actions, they say, are not a reflection of Islam and certainly not the purpose of Ramadan, the holy month, which lasts through July 7th.
This goes against the very basic teachings of Islam and violates every teaching of our Prophet Muhammad.
Any good work that I feel that the Muslim community does, it's like it's thrown out the window every time something horrific like this happens.
Ramadan does last through July 5th, a correction to that date. The Islamic Society also wants to make sure its congregations and guests feel safe, so that they've requested an increase in security from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office during evening prayer services. And as the outpouring of support for the victims and their families continue, another candlelight vigil is planned for the Suncoast this week. It will be held in the playground area at the Bradenton Riverwalk tonight at 8 o'clock. And if you would like to attend, you're asked to bring a long stick candle. In Sarasota, over 1,000 people showed up in 5 Points Park for the vigil that was held there on Monday.
And Sarasota County Sheriff's investigators are looking for the person who may have set a rabbit on fire. It happened Sunday afternoon along Lorenza Avenue in Northport. The rabbit was taken to a rehabilitation clinic in Venice, where a veterinarian said its injuries may have been caused by an intentional act. Investigators believe the domestic rabbit suffered these injuries within the last week. Fortunately, the animal is expected to survive. And Tropical Storm Colin has left a lasting impression on the Suncoast after drenching the area last week. Assessment teams have been surveying the damage the storm caused to the beaches in Sarasota and Manatee counties, and so far the results are looking mostly positive. Sarasota County recently completed a look at the beaches, while Manatee County's assessment is still ongoing.
Sarasota County did certainly lose sand in certain areas along our Gulf shoreline, but really for the most part, we really didn't have the serious hit that was at least potential.
We fared very well with Tropical Storm Colin, but you know, for those individuals that were damaged, that's very detrimental to them.
Although the beaches did well in Sarasota and Manatee counties, there were homes, businesses, and piers that suffered damage. Repairs could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, Sarasota County is facing a lawsuit over the privatization of one of the last stretches of beachfront roads in the area. Commissioners recently voted in favor of vacating their rights to a section of Beach Road on Siesta Key. Now, the move will allow homeowners along the roadway to demolish and deconstruct a property where the road currently sits. A lawsuit has been filed to prevent the change from taking effect. Those in opposition say the move will limit the public's access to the beach.
This is the only stretch of road on Siesta Key that you can drive down and actually know that you're on an island unless you're going across the bridge. All of our water views have slowly been taken, and this is the only one that's left. And if we don't act, it's going to be gone forever.
The county was unavailable to comment on this lawsuit. And in Holmes Beach, commissioners are moving forward with a proposal to place a moratorium on chain businesses from being developed in the city. The commission voted unanimously on the moratorium during a meeting yesterday. Mayor Bob Johnson says the moratorium will help give the commission time to find the appropriate course of action for the city and preserve its unique character, its homey feel. It would apply to any new applications submitted to the city and would be in effect until early next year.
In Manatee County, the school board has voted unanimously to put an end to litigation involving former principal and assistant superintendent Bob Gagnon. During last night's meeting, the board approved a settlement agreement in which Gagnon will receive $400,000. Board members say the decision will allow the district to move forward and is the best settlement for all involved. The case stems from Gagnon's dismissal from the district during the Rod Frazier child abuse case. The Gagnons were originally seeking $5 million from the district. The board also made another unanimous decision last night to move forward with plans to renew the half-cent sales tax to help fund local schools. The board voted to request that the Manatee County Commission put the proposal to renew the sales tax on the November ballot. According to the Bradenton Herald, if approved, a Citizens Oversight Committee will be created to make sure the money is spent on specific projects. The sales tax brings in $30 million a year for the district.
Meanwhile, in Venice, residents will have to decide on how to spend bonds worth $34 million during the November election. According to the Herald Tribune, the city council voted 6-1 to put 2 bonds on the ballot that would help create a new police station and improve roadways as well. $16 million would go towards building the police station as well as a training center and data center. The station would likely be moved to the intersection of East Venice Avenue and Auburn Road. The other $18 million would go to resurfacing and repairing 70 miles worth of roadways. The bonds would be repaid through property taxes. Speaking of taxes, a private tax software company is laying off dozens of local workers. Vertex intends to lay off 100 employees by the end of the year. The company is ending its legacy income tax software platform that was based in Sarasota County in favor of a newer enterprise platform. Now, Vertex plans to keep 70 workers in Sarasota. Those employees will now shift to work on the company's newest corporate tax software, that enterprise software.
Well, another hotel is planned for Sarasota, but this one is near the hospital and would be the only 3.5 or 4-star hotel in the Midtown region.
ABC 7's Ray Collins has the story.
This Midtown Plaza area on US 41 is anchored by a Winn-Dixie, and you might not have noticed the hotel across the street. It's never been confused with a Ritz or a Hyatt. But if all goes as planned, it'll be a Sheraton 4 Points hotel that may have this Italian Renaissance design or this contemporary design.
You know, Ray, it is going to be an upgrade.
Commercial real estate broker Jag Graywell says the California-based developer is ready to spend up to $9 million to make this current Baymont Inn and Suites a 3.5 to 4-star Sheraton. It'll be 3 stories on this side and 5 stories on the west side. Graywell says this area is overdue for a nice hotel, especially since the hospital is right across the street.
Well, there's not a lot to choose from, really. If you drive around there, there's nothing of this quality at all that services the neighborhoods and services the hospital.
This project, I'm amazed that they're going to spend this kind of money on the hotel with the quality hotels that are on downtown. But that's their checkbook.
Former Sarasota Mayor Shannon Snyder lives near the project in the Arlington Park area. He says he and his neighbors want to work closely with the developers, but he says there is one element that's non-negotiable to him that might become an issue.
To make sure that there's not a bar involved. They're under 99, which means they can't get a COP license.
COP?
For a beer and wine, or if you have a bar.
Don't most hotels have bars?
Most hotels do, but not this one. We were told in the meeting that they weren't going to have one, and that'll be the main condition I think that the neighborhood will push with the city commission.
We reached out to Graywell later in the day on the issue, and he seemed surprised, saying it's not a stretch for a hotel to have a bar for guests, but said he'll continue to engage the neighborhood. Whether or not this hotel has a bar is a bit preliminary. The plan still needs city approval, but that issue could become a sticking point. In the newsroom, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Ray. Well, major changes are now on the way for a popular Suncoast attraction.
The South Florida Museum says it's nearly reached its $12 million goal to reinvent the museum. The museum has raised just over $11 million to build a museum of the future. Now, the museum is expected to break ground next June on the project, and they have just chosen the architects who will work on that project. Some changes include building a new children's wing, adding new exhibitions and programs, and expanding the parking lot. Snooty's home and the Manatee Rehabilitation Center will also see an upgrade. And Snooty's about to turn 67 this year. Yeah,
Is
July.
It 67?
Yeah, I think
He's such a
his
sweetie.
birthday's the whole month of July. He doesn't have a specific date.
Well, it
celebrate
gives us
all
some
month.
things to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the exciting things of life. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sometimes.
I'll tell you what's not exciting. Getting up and walking outdoors. That's not exciting. It's a little on the sticky side. You're going to notice it this morning, that's for sure. We'll have the forecast, the full forecast when we come back.
And still ahead, hack attack. The Democratic National Committee is dealing with a major breach after hackers tap into computer servers. Details next.
What does it mean when New South Windows says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Ford Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say,
"Hey, Culligan man."
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing, but sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Well, this morning, no big surprise here. It's very warm, it's very muggy, it's steamy outside, and temperatures are just going to feel a lot warmer than they actually are, with readings mostly in the 80s at the coastline, but it feels as though it's about 87 degrees already this morning, and we've just begun. So you can see we've got some showers located out in the Gulf of Mexico. Some other showers are also located onshore, but they're east of I-75 right now, and they've been affecting parts of the Fort Myers area, moving on up towards the north, affecting parts of Charlotte County. And for the most part, they're moving on into Arcadia at this time. We've got some showers around Northport still. Most of these rains are fairly light, and they're beginning to dissipate right now. And today is not going to be a big rain day. As a matter of fact, we're only calling for a 20% chance of rain. So even though it's hot, even though it's muggy, even though the dew points are high, the rain chances are only going to be about 20% for the day. So right now it's 80 degrees. Our dew point at 74 degrees, 81% humidity, so it's very, very muggy. And as you walk out the door, you'll notice that there's no breeze. There's just nothing moving anything out there. Those winds coming in out of the east-southeast at around 5 miles per hour. All around the state, we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, especially over the northern sections of Florida. Right along the beaches, we're seeing temperatures in the 80s, at least throughout our area. As you get a little farther down to the south, Fort Myers is reporting 78, Naples reporting 78 degrees, and it is very warm down across the Key West area with 82, Miami reporting 82 right now as well. Again, all along the beaches, we're looking at temperatures in the 80s. Bradenton now at 80 degrees. Lakewood Ranch a little bit cooler with 78. Parrish reporting the same thing, as is Mayaca City, and we've got 79 degrees despite some recent rains in the Northport area, and then east of I-75, no changes there at all. High pressure continues to dominate our forecast, and that's what's helping to keep those rain chances suppressed, and we will see a couple of those showers coming back on into the picture later on this afternoon, but again, we're going to keep those rain chances low across the state of Florida with a 20% chance of rain. Across the southeast, we continue to see just partly cloudy skies. We've got a little bit of rain across the Ohio Valley. And what we're going to be seeing for our area will be those feels-like temperatures getting up to 102 to 105 degrees. That's what it's going to feel like. The actual temperature will be right around 90 degrees today. And once again, only a 20% chance of rain. So what we can expect over the next couple of days is that we're going to keep those rain chances low. We may see a couple of those rains coming on in later on this afternoon, but again, it's not going to be a real rain day today for us. If you're heading out to the beach, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 knot, seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop. And over the next couple of days, we're going to keep those rain chances low for today and tomorrow, and then we up them just in time for the weekend. Rebecca.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Taking a look at commute right now at 520. Looks like out of Palmetto, the bridges are still clear. So is 41 and 301 and the interstate. No problems to report just yet. In Sarasota, we're still seeing that road closure at School Ave Road. School Ave, the road is closed between Goldenrod Street to the end there at School Avenue. Looks like that's something that will be there all week long. It's been there since Monday. As you take a look at 41 and the interstate, everything is green in both directions. I'm not seeing any accidents on any of our roadways so far. Well, a new exhibition is taking over the Ringling Museum of Art, and the show features photography from their permanent collection and is on view until September 25th.
Alice Murphy tells us all about it.
The subject of the nude human body has played an esteemed role in the history of Western art for millennia. This exhibition, Exposure, Naked Before the Lens, presents the many ways in which 20th and 21st century photographers have shown the undressed human form in their work.
Throughout the history of photography, from its origins in the mid-19th century, is this really an art form? Can photography be a fine art form? And I think at this point we've established that yes, of course, it is. We consider it to be. But a lot of the artists who are on display here in this exhibition were sort of fighting against that idea that photography isn't an art, or that photographs of the nude form are somehow illicit, whereas paintings or drawings of the nude form are fine art. We see such a variety of approaches to the nude. Some we might think of as being erotically charged. Others show scenes of a nudist colony, a regular middle-class family who just happen to be nudists, for example. So we see that in different contexts, nudity can have very different meanings. And typically when we see photographs, so we think about the presence of the model, the photographer there, and what sort of relationship was created in that act of photographing. Throughout most of the 20th century, the typical nude, what was expected and what was sort of accepted too, even in a fine art setting, was the relationship of a male photographer and a female nude. And it was seen as being unacceptable, taboo, to show male nudes in a gallery setting, because it was seen as being too homoerotic. I thought it was really fascinating, just sort of exploration of that role between photographer and model in the instance of photographing. And from that, I sort of thought about the rest of the kind of the history of photography and the history of the nude in photography. And so when I was doing research, I, whenever possible, tried to look up who the model was in a particular photo, and to present some of that information in the labels on display, to kind of think about what motivated the photographer and perhaps the model and what relationship they had.
From history to modern art, you'll find it all there.
Yes. And past nudist colonies.
Yeah, true. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
The force is strong with some Star Wars fans, and so's the odor. We'll show you what new creations a perfume company is coming up with.
Since 1928, Kerastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Kerastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota flooring.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get America's best value, a new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $16,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the barbershop quartet without their fourth member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Welcome back. It's 5:25. A landmark deal between Boeing and Iran will soon be officially announced.
ABC's Kenneth Gibson and Diane Macedo have this morning's business headlines from New York.
Good morning. Topping America's Money, an historic multi-billion-dollar deal for Boeing.
Iran says it has reached an agreement with the company to buy more than 100 planes for $25 billion.
If it's approved, it would mean new American planes flying over Iran for the first time since 1979.
And if you're a fan of maple syrup, don't be afraid to pour it on thick because there is plenty of it.
Get this, the U.S. has produced more than 4 million gallons of syrup this year, the most since record-keeping started a century ago, but that spike is not expected to lower prices.
Boo. Well, Star Wars, we've seen it in IMAX, we've seen it in 3D, but you still can't smell it.
But now a European fragrance company is out with 3 new scents. Empire and Jedi for men offer masculinity and power, and for women, a lighter, more seductive scent called Amidala.
No chewy scent, I hope.
Or Ewok.
That's America's Money.
America's Money. Brought to you by Safelite Auto Glass.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need Safelite to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh yeah, we can fix that. Only Safelite can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind True Seal technology for a reliable bond. Thanks so much. Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
How long can you wear your shoes before corns, calluses, and bunions make them unbearable? Introducing Dr. Scholl's cushions with advanced Duragel technology. They provide a thin, flexible layer between your shoes and foot pain, so you can move with confidence. New Dr. Scholl's cushions.
Hello world, hear the song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
New Aquafina Sparkling. Lightness and refreshment in perfect sync. Aquafina Sparkling for happy bodies.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. This hurricane season, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
At ABC7, our entire weathercast is dedicated to the Suncoast, and now we bring it to you like never before with the all-new official Suncoast forecast.
Beach and boating forecast. The winds will be out of the northwest at 10 knots.
Now, with the most advanced graphics and technology, we bring you weather where you live, pinpointing right down to your neighborhood.
Zooming into the Sarasota Bayfront, the all-new official Suncoast forecast, only on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
College is the best starting line a Florida student could have. Since earning my degree at the University of Florida, I've gone on to be a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Rookie of the Year and a team owner in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. Thanks to the Florida Lottery, many more students will be off to the races with a brighter future. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Did you know many dogs are returned to shelters simply because they lack obedience? Contact Canine Corral about various training programs. We train dogs and their owners. Canine Corral, where the love is.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150. Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. Sarasota.Ford.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the search is on for a missing 2-year-old dragged into a lake by an alligator in Disney World.
Plus, the Democratic National Committee is dealing with a major data breach. We'll show you who's behind it.
And Raise Up, how the team is paying tribute to the Orlando victims this week.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with Wendy Ross, who's in for John Scalzi, and everybody around the world paying tribute. There are the naysayers and the negative, like the Sacramento pastor who said that they basically deserved what they got what they deserved, and it's terrible, some of the things, but for the most part,
it's devastating, yeah.
For the most part, everybody around the world honoring the victims and coming together, hopefully, for always.
Yes.
How do you go on from that? That's just unbelievable, incredibly awful. But we are looking at, we'll go to the weather. We'll just talk about the weather. And the weather is awful too, I have to say. It's just muggy out there. It is as still as can be. And we are expecting to see our temperatures climb up to very close to 90 degrees by noontime. Keep in mind, it's going to feel a whole lot warmer than that. Already our heat index is around 87 degrees right now for us. And we do have a 20% chance of rain throughout the morning hours and later on this afternoon. So it's going to be hot, mostly sunny for today. We're not going to see a whole lot in the way of rainfall. And currently it's 80 degrees with our humidity high and those winds coming in out of the east-southeast at around 5 miles per hour everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you go. It's hot out there.
Yes, it's covering all of us. Thank you, Wendy. Take a look at the Suncoast roadways. Manatee County is looking good at this time in the morning, 5:33 to be exact. Everything's moving along for the most part. No issues. Normal traffic for this time in the morning. In Sarasota, you still have that road closure at School Avenue and Goldenrod Street. Goes all the way to the end there. And then as you move down in South County, everything there is almost perfect. There is an accident at Pine Brook Road and Laurel Road, so be aware of that just off the Laurel Road exit of I-75. Now, for the third time in less than a week, the Orlando area hit by another tragedy.
Yeah, this time it's at the Grand Floridian Resort in Disney World, where crews are searching for a 2-year-old dragged into a lake by an alligator.
Tragedy overnight at Disney World. A 2-year-old boy snatched by an alligator and dragged underwater at the upscale Grand Floridian Resort and Spa.
There's a sandy beach area, and the family was out just simply relaxing. The father was there nearby, and the child was playing in the water, just a foot or so into the water. and the alligator came up and attacked.
He saw this happen?
Yes.
A team of 50 officers searching into the morning hours for the toddler who was on vacation with his family from Nebraska.
We're not leaving until we recover the child.
Authorities say the boy's parents jumped into the lake and tried to wrestle him away from the gator's jaws.
The father entered the water and tried to grab the child, was not successful in doing so. At some point, I'm told that the mother also may have entered the water. So the parents diligently tried to get the child.
Witnesses say an alligator was seen in the water before the attack. It's described as being between 4 and 7 feet long.
Florida Fish and Wildlife is assisting the Orange County Sheriff's Office in this search.
To the campaign trail now, where the Democratic National Committee is dealing with a major breach. 2 separate hacker groups linked to a Russian intelligence hacked its computer servers, and one of the hacker groups had access to the system for a year and was monitoring the DNC's communications servers. The other group stole research files on Donald Trump within the last few months. The hackers were booted from the server over the weekend. The story was first reported by the Washington Post. DNC telling the paper that it looks as though no personal or financial information was accessed. Also, a new national poll shows Hillary Clinton holding a 12-point lead over Donald Trump. The Bloomberg Politics poll finds that the former Secretary of State has 49% support from Trump's 37%. The Libertarian Gary Johnson has 9%. 55% of those surveyed said they would never vote for the presumptive GOP nominee, compared to just 43% who said they'd never back Clinton, the presumptive Democratic nominee. The survey of 750 likely voters was conducted Friday through Monday.
In consumer news, the Kellogg Company is voluntarily recalling a variety of snacks amid fears of undisclosed peanut residue contamination. The cookies and brownies are linked to flour company Graincraft, which recalled wheat flour that had the potential to contain peanut residue. The company says the amount of peanut exposure from the flour is low, but some of these treats affected include the Keebler, Famous Amos, Kellogg's Special K, Mother's, and Murray lines. So far, no reports of any illnesses have been reported. A small Florida bank is now making it easier for Americans to travel and work in Cuba. Stonegate Bank is issuing the first U.S. credit card specifically designed for Cuba. Customers will be able to use the MasterCard to make purchases at state and private businesses, including high-end restaurants. Until now, Americans had to bring cash to Cuba and change it either at a state institution or in informal exchanges with locals. The MasterCard will be available beginning today. And Florida is turning to technology in hopes of helping residents find jobs. The Florida Department of Economic Opportunity has created a new mobile app called Employ Florida. It's designed to allow smartphone users to easily browse for specific jobs by city or region. Nearly 20,000 job websites are linked to the app.
We want to give people as many resources as we can. You want to make sure that if they potentially, maybe they don't have a computer at home, and what they do is they have a smartphone, then we're making it easier.
Last month, Florida's unemployment rate was 4.8%, the lowest mark in more than 8 years. Meanwhile, Sarasota County wants to help people grow their business. The county is offering free classes from June through September that will show business owners and nonprofits how to become more energy efficient, improve their workplace environment, attract customers, and strengthen their bottom line. The classes start at either noon or at 5 p.m. Contact the county if you'd like to reserve a spot. The Venice Airport is getting more money to increase its security. The Florida Department of Transportation is offering the city a $200,000 grant to improve security at the General Aviation Airport. The funds will go towards things like new lighting, fencing, gates, and cameras.
And we continue to see an extraordinary outpouring of support all around the world for Orlando, and now the Rays are joining in. The team has announced that they're dedicating their annual Pride Night to the victims of the Orlando massacre. Available seats for Friday night's game at the Trop will be just $5, and all proceeds will benefit the Pulse Victims Fund, which has been set up for the families of the victims. One Blood will also be holding blood drives at Tropicana Field. The Rays, they had a game last night, back in action after a day off Monday. They hosted the Mariners at the Trop, and it was another strong performance from Corey Dickerson, who has started to produce more offensively as of late. A 2-run homer in the second, brought the Rays within 2. And then in the 7th, the score tied at 7. Dickerson drives in the winning run on a hit to left center. Logan Morrison came around to score. The Rays won 8-7. They did lose Steven Souza Jr. in the loss. He left the game injured. The Rays are now 8-2 in their last 10, and they'll host the Mariners again tonight. And you can take the Cincinnati Reds out of Sarasota, but you can't take Sarasota out of Cincinnati. Dave Stewart, the owner of Captain Kurtz, was in Cincinnati to throw out the ceremonial first pitch this past Sunday, and he did so to his son Dave Stewart. Now the Reds game was played only after that nice pitch. Look at that. Captain Kurtz on Siesta Key is the official clam chowder of the Cincinnati Reds, and everybody knows about their clam chowder. I've had friends in Connecticut call me to send them some chowder from Kurtz, but since I'm not allowed in there because I'm a Hurricanes fan, and it's basically the official home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Now I'm craving clam chowder at 5:40 in the morning.
Well, they
we have to go there after work.
Yes, all right. So Dave Stewart, you see that arm on him?
Though.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was fun.
Impressive.
Yeah, pretty good.
Well, we're going to have your complete forecast when we come back after the break.
Also, the type of bread you eat may have a bigger impact on your health than you think. More on that coming up in Health Smart.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory. It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Ford Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their fourth member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month, complimentary maintenance included, at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
If you loved yesterday's weather, You are going to love today's because we are expecting pretty much the same thing. We only have a 20% chance of rain. It's already beginning to develop over some portions of the west coast of Florida this morning. And across the Panhandle, we're also looking at a couple of showers that have been moving on in. But for the most part, it's just very steamy out there. Very, very muggy. Temperatures are in the 80s along the coast. And you can see that the showers that we've had have been mostly inland. So east of I-75 is where we've been getting these rains. And now they're beginning to die out. We've had the showers coming on through Northport, now beginning to move and affect portions of Arcadia, and everything is moving off towards the east. Some newer showers have also formed just to the west of I-75 in Sarasota County. And these are very, very light rains that are appearing. And it is not going to be a big rain day today. Right now, it's 80 degrees. Our humidity is high. The dew points are up there at 74 degrees, and the winds are calm. It is so still outside when you walk out the door. It's just like walking into a wet blanket. Those winds coming in out of the east-southeast at around 5 miles per hour. As you can see, around the state, temperatures are mostly in the 70s, but along the west coast of Florida, we are seeing temperatures in the 80s, and down to the south, in Key West and Miami, temperatures also in the low 80s right now. So at the coastline, we've got those temperature readings 80 to 81 degrees. You get onshore and you're looking at temperatures mostly 78 to 79 degrees. So not much of a spread there. And we are, of course, going to be warming up significantly throughout the day today. We have high pressure dominating our forecast, and we are going to see some of these showers coming on through because it is summer and it is Florida. It's actually not officially summer. You know, that doesn't happen until the 21st, but we are looking at a 20% chance of rain across the state of Florida and across our viewing area particularly. We've got a feels-like temperature of 102 to 105 degrees today. The actual temperature will be right around 90, and again, only a 20% chance of rain is in our forecast. And this is what it looks like over the next couple of days and throughout the rest of the day as well. We've got some afternoon showers that will move on through, but we're not looking at anything heavy or significant. If you're heading off to the beach for today, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 knots, and seas will range 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out on the bay and inland waters. So it's going to be mostly sunny today with a 20% chance of rain, a temperature high of 80 degrees. Later on this afternoon, that heat index of about 102, that's the feels-like temperature. We're actually going to see a high of 90 with a 20% chance of showers, and those afternoon winds will be coming in right off the Gulf of Mexico. Notice that over the next couple of days, we keep the rain chances low through Thursday, and then on Friday, we've got a 50% chance of rain for Friday and Saturday, and we continue those moderate rain chances on Sunday. Rebecca?
Thank you, Wendy. Taking a look at your commute right now at 5:47. It looks like those Palmetto bridges are still clear. 41, 301 moving along well. No issues on the interstate either. As you head into Sarasota, we're just still seeing that road closure there at School Avenue. The road is closed at Goldenrod Street to the end there. And Bee Ridge Road is a little bit slow. We're picking up in volume as you head east, right around 41 at Bee Ridge. Heading down 41 and the interstate into South County, the only problem we're seeing is an accident just west of the interstate at Laurel Road and Pinebrook Road, not causing any slowdowns, but be aware of that accident. Well, an Englewood woman has a rapidly growing tumor, and the exact cause is unknown.
ABC 7's Alex Redmond looks into it.
They walk hand in hand, a couple very much in love. The only gray cloud, a scar on her head.
He didn't know what it was, but he said it is a brain tumor.
Retired firefighter David Mosier says he recognized his wife having a grand mal seizure.
Ran around, opened the door, laid the seat back, turned her sideways, keep her airway open. Kept her from beating herself to death. When you're flailing around, you don't know what you're doing.
Bonnie Mosier describes what she remembers.
And so David, thank goodness, was driving, and we were on 75. And the visual migraine I was having that day was exceptionally bad.
Even when you live in paradise, life can throw you a curveball. You could be driving along, fine 1 minute, and the next, your whole world is turned upside down.
And the next thing I know, I woke up in the emergency room.
When I knew something was serious, it was because she was unconscious for about 2 hours. And that told me something's wrong.
Bonnie Mosier's glioblastoma multiforme, an aggressive brain tumor.
Like a golf ball. you know, size, a little bit bigger maybe.
Was operated on, but additional treatment of chemotherapy and radiation are needed. Now, David Mosier, a man used to helping others, is dealing not only with his wife and his best friend's illness.
I'm probably not going to be able to make the bills, and it scares me.
Bonnie Mosier's sister, Jean Corn, started a GoFundMe page to offset the couple's mounting expenses.
It's really hard because there's so many unknowns, and there's going to be scary things, and there's going to be painful things, and it's life-altering, and you just gotta, I guess, one step at a time, one day at a time, but boy, it sure does knock you off your feet.
To follow Bonnie's progress, and if you'd like to help the family out, you can go to mysuncoast.com and click on Help. We'll have a link to their GoFundMe page. Reporting in Englewood, Alex Redmond, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
What kind of bread do you choose? Like, see, I remember the days, Wonder Bread and peanut butter and jelly and just soaks into the bread. And you remember that? Well, it turns out that decision may influence your health. What kind of bread do you use?
True. Harvard researchers looked at 4 decades worth of studies on bread. They found the more whole grains people ate, the lower their risk of dying early from various causes. For people who followed current dietary guidelines, about 50 grams of whole grains per day, they found death from heart disease went down 20%. And death from cancer went down 15%. Good, because I like whole grains, and that's what I've been eating.
Yes,
so that makes me feel better.
We need to make a nice panini. That panini they just showed right there.
That looked great.
I'm really hungry.
Yeah, me too. The clam chowder, now the bread. Oh, goodness.
Peanut butter jelly, man.
Stay with us while Don goes make some peanut butter and jelly at his desk.
With the jelly just soaked in. It was awesome. We'll be right back after I eat.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say, "Hey Culligan man."
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Did you know? When your dog stays at Canine Corral, the play is free? Contact Canine Corral today about boarding and daycare packages. Canine Corral, where the love is.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150. Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to $2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, We provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It is 5:54, and here's what's coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. Investigators in Orlando are focusing on the wife of the nightclub shooter. It's still unclear how much she knew prior to the attack. The local Islamic Society is speaking out against the Orlando attacks, condemning the man who killed 49 people, saying it is not a reflection of Islam. And Holmes Beach is moving forward with a proposal for a moratorium on chain businesses moving to the island community and setting up shop.
Well, this boy just may be the next Michael Phelps. 9-year-old James Savage just accomplished a pretty remarkable feat. He beat cold water, big waves, and strong currents to swim from San Francisco to Alcatraz and back. It took him just over 2 hours to complete. It did take a bit of a bribe for him to do it. His dad offered him $100 to complete the challenge, although the $100 is not going to do it if you can't do the actual feat. Now, he upped it to $200, and James said he'll spend the money on candy. Attaboy. He also says his next goal is to swim the length of the Golden Gate Bridge, which is 8,981 feet. And that's the reason now Alcatraz is closed, because if you could swim that treacherous water, you could escape Alcatraz. There's no use having it open anymore.
Oh my goodness. Aren't there sharks in that water?
Too cold.
Too cold.
Big old sea lions, though.
Oh, yeah, the sea lions.
No, there's probably sharks in there. There's great whites, I think.
Well, I hope he's okay. I mean, obviously he's okay. I'm just impressed. Jeez.
Well, those kayakers kept the sharks at bay.
Oh, really? I think so. No. It's 5:55. We'll be right back.